I've gotten some interesting feedback on the video I did about the open carry at the Tea Party. Because somebody brought up the fact that we have people threatening the AIG guys. Yeah. Quit drinking the Kool-Aid. The executives are not at fault. The government is at fault. Alright, it's real simple. Clinton, this shit worked in tandem, by the way. I don't know if it was planned or what. Conspiracy theorists probably say it was planned. Yeah, it would not surprise me. But Clinton came up with this idea that we're going to expand the Fair Housing Act and let more immigrants and more minorities and more low-income people buy houses. They need to own property. Yeah, that's not exactly intelligent. That's like saying I can't pay my credit card bill, but you're going to give it to me anyway. Then on top of this, we have a lot of people who were buying shit who couldn't afford it. I mean, no, you could not afford it. So you're buying homes, but you can't afford to buy a home. You're getting credit cards, but you can't afford to pay the fucking bill. You know, okay, well, and then to make it even worse, I mean, it was bad enough that you have the low-income people doing it. Then you have the middle class, the upper middle class, and the borderline rich people saying, I have a $50,000 home, I have a $100 and some thousand home. I can get more money out of this because the way Clinton set shit up, so I'm gonna go buy a fucking $500,000, $800,000, $1 million home, and then couldn't pay it. You have people who just utterly couldn't pay their fucking bills. Now, the whole time that we're giving all this credit out to people, but before fucking Clinton even leaves office, 9/11 was in the works. It doesn't matter if you believe that the 9/11 was caused by the U.S. government as a false flag operation, which is possible, or that it was actually Osama bin Laden who did it. I don't really care. However, it was already in the works, planned, and these guys were training for this shit long before September 11th happened. Part of this was due to Clinton's being a bitch. Yes, Bill Clinton is a fucking bitch. He hollered that he was gonna have, we was gonna fight a war when they bombed us in Beirut, and then he backed out. He threatened military intervention and then backed down. So a little bit of Bush's having to be an asshole, draconian shit is trying to make up for the fact that Clinton was no longer in charge. But Bill Clinton lets all these people who can't afford to pay their bills have more bills. Who can't afford to have a house, knowing they can't pay for it. Then 9/11 hits, and we start falling into a recession. Bush gets us out of it with the typical Republican way of dealing with recessions, which is to decrease taxes. By the way, that decrease in taxes is where Bush is increasing the whole debt came in at, the national debt came in at, increasing our deficit, because even though we were losing money in the war, he was decreasing the amount of money that the American people were paying to help them get back on their feet. Whether you want to accept it or not, gravity works. Shit rolls downhill. Sometimes it's good shit, sometimes it's bad shit. And in one case, yes, the people who were rich got richer, but so did everyone else underneath them. Now, following this, we end up in this little situation we have now where people can't pay their bills, taxes have been cut down so that, Bush basically, after 9/11, prolonged the Clinton era thing by dropping the taxes. These guys made money. They work for a living. It is their job to make money. So yeah, AIG and all these banks and everything else made money. They got really rich off of it. And everything fucked up because the government regulated the system. And government regulation didn't work. Now, I find it so amazing that so many people who are atheists believe in that you have to have government regulation. Here's the problem. If you're an atheist and you believe in Darwin's theory of evolution, then you have to accept three things. One, A, we human beings are fucking primates. B, all primates are fucking equal. There is no fucking monkey that is any fucking smarter than another monkey. There is no fucking monkey which is genetically superior to anything else. There is no fucking X-Men, no fucking Wolverine, no Magneto, no Professor Xavier. There's no one who can simply walk around, pick up a book and say, I magically know everything in it. And education does not make you smart. You only learn what other people tell you to fucking learn. Which is why I'm an advocate of self-education. Now, when we examine this whole big bubble thing, yes, people made money off the whole thing. And they want to punish the executives. Well, here's the problem. The reason why they want to punish the executives is because a lot of the major shareholders for a lot of these companies are in Congress. The people who are working for our fucking government are also the people who own large shares of these same banks which cannot fail. And they don't want them to fail. So the only solution they have is, let's give them money so I can become better. We're doing it for the good of the people. However, you run into this situation where you look at a Roman Senate type thing where it's mob rule. I advise people to watch the movie Gladiator because that's basically what the fuck is about to happen, what is going on. And you have one person vying for power. Right now it's Obama, and usually it's the same gaggle fuck of the little supporters who run behind him in the Senate because they're going to go with whatever the fucking guy in charge of the military says because, he has the military to back him. Now, that's bullshit, by the way. I can explain that later. However, as you're going into this, basically the sole blame, the major blame, lies with the fucks in the government. It's the government's fault. Now, the banks did what the government told them. It caused the situation, and the government's going to come in to remedy the situation by fucking over the people. That's where you're looking at these nice little 90-some% tax hikes for, the wealthy and the middle class, while the low-income people, the average guy, is fucking getting screwed. And by screwed, I mean the average Joe is sitting here and he can't rise above his station. You are a fucking peasant. You are a goddamn serf. Get the idea out of your mind. You are a free person. If you were free, then you would be able to do whatever the fuck you want to do with your house because you own it, because it is your property and it belongs to you without having to get a permit, a petition, or give a fuck what the hell your neighbors say. It's yours. If I want to burn this table for firewood, it's mine. If I want to add a room to my house, I can do that. It's mine. If I want to turn my fucking yard into a fucking dirt bike pit, I can do that. It's mine. I don't need anyone else to regulate and govern it for me. However, this is where you come into, because you're looking at, again, the same stupid primates, the same bunch of dumb fucking monkeys. That's not a racial term. I'm referring to the people who holler evolution. We're all fucking primates. Doesn't matter. Here you have these dumb fucking chimps who are saying, we know what's going on. We have this, we have that. Okay, fine. A bigger banana does not make you a fucking genius. And what it comes down to is that the people who are saying we need to do this for the people are nothing more than parasites. They're feeding off the people.